Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Rising, we're going to explore what areas of your life you're going to have ease, what areas of your life there's going to be stress and tension. We're also going to discover a full moon that's occurring, and it's all about relationships. You want to know where in your life, where in your chart is this happening, so that we can be more specific to understand what relationships are going to be involved. Let's talk about Jupiter, and let's talk about Pluto. Pluto is our soul. Pluto is deeply transformational stuff. It is conjunct Jupiter right now, and it's going to be receiving, well, actually is receiving right now today, a trine from Venus, which sends support. So we want to know what areas of your life, where are you receiving support? How long is the support going to last? Where are you having tension and restrictions? Because we're going to have Mars conjunct Saturn. Mars is our body. Mars is where we want to take action. Saturn comes in and says, these are the rules. These are the rules. Slow down. You have to follow each step, or you have to just altogether stop. So we're going to be feeling a sense of frustration and tension, especially towards the end of March, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. There's this sort of banging the head against the wall feeling, like we're not getting anywhere, nothing is changing, nothing's accomplished. But rest assured, this is all going to change. Now, we do still have the big picture of the global restrictions, and that's going to be with us for a good part of 2020. We are still going to have rules and regulations that are new because of the pandemic COVID-19 stuff that will be living with going forward, and there will be other things that happen to make life easier and adjustments that we're making where we will be more acclimated to the new rules. But let's just dig deep into all astrology. Okay, Taurus, my metaphysicians, this one is for you because Venus is in your sign, all right? She's at 24, 25 degrees. And Pluto and Jupiter are at 24, 25 degrees in Capricorn. Well, Capricorn is earth energy, and like energies mean trine. What does a trine mean? Added ease. It's Venus in Taurus, and this is going to be tangible assets, tangible, like things you value that you can physically touch. Taurus energy is all about your income and your resources. And Venus brings gifts. Venus likes things to be peaceful. She likes things to be beautiful. So let's find out, where's your Taurus energy. We're doing a Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Rising, but you want to find out where is 24 degrees of Venus at, or I should say 24 degrees of Taurus energy. For some folks, it's definitely in their first house, but I'm going to give you an example. I am a Taurus Ascendant, but that mark, that 24 degree mark, actually falls in my 12th house. So that's not going to be a first house Venus, that's a 12th house Venus, which is very different. It still represents a benefit, but it changes the meaning of it, okay? So if you are a Taurus first house, or if you don't know where the 24 degree mark is, or any of the degrees and the dates and things that you're not sure about in your own life, just comment your stuff down below and I can look at your birth chart for you and I can give you answers. I can help you to further understand where things are happening, who's going to be involved, and the time frames that go into that. All right, so Taurus. We're going to be getting benefit with our Capricorn energy. Now, Capricorn energy, typically, if you're a Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Rising, you have Capricorn energy in your 9th house. All right, the 9th house is your beliefs. It's your thinking. It's your religion. It's your philosophy on life. It's your opinion. It's your long distance journeys. All right, the 9th house also represents the law, and it's more of the letter of the law, like the rules. Not so much. It's like big law. It's higher learning, so it's the higher up law. It's like courts and stuff like that. So 9th house energy, receiving a trine from the Venus energy, is a beautiful benefit. There's something, they both trine each other, so that's the 9th house and your first house, so that's a benefit. It adds ease to your life. At the same time, this is at the butt end of March. At the same time, at the butt end of March is that Saturn conjunct Mars, okay? And they get really tight on March 31st, the last day of the month. If you're a sensitive person, you're already feeling it, you're already aware of it, you already see how it's happening in your life. But let's find where your Aquarius energy is, because this is the placement that you will discover. This is the restrictions in your life that are happening. Taurus Ascendant, you're going to have Aquarian energy typically in your 10th house. So your 10th house is your goals, your ambitions, something you've been working on. This is an area where when Mars and Saturn get together, there's all of a sudden, there's just, things have been changed. All right, and there's new rules that Saturn sets down. Mars is very passionate. It is our drive. All right, it wants to take action with its goals. It wants to work really hard at it, and it typically does it physically. So if sitting around, it feels like there's something wrong. It gets very irritated, very agitated. Mars can be very impatient because it likes to take action and it likes to move fast. It doesn't want to think, doesn't want to follow rules. It just wants to go, go, go. Well, you can't do that because Saturn is the general. Mars is the soldier. Saturn says, no, back down. Put your weapon down. Put your knife back in your little holder there and sit down. We're not doing this right now. It's not time to fight. It's time to chill. And Mars doesn't like that. But Mars does know that it's not the general. It knows that its job is to be the soldier, and the soldier's job is to take action when called upon. Okay, soldier is trained to take orders. And so Mars and Saturn, even though there's frustration, it's not going to be like an all-out war or horrible, because Mars recognizes this what it was trained to do. It recognizes that there's somebody over its head, and after all, you know, he has to follow the rules. And so even though it's irritating, right, because that's what it is, it's just a frustration and an irritation. And when you know that it has to do in areas of your life, of your goals and your ambitions, also realizing the 10th house, let's talk about the people that are there. The 10th house represents people that are in authority in your life in some way. So for many, it could be simply an older person by age. It could be a person who appears wiser, who's somehow a teacher to you. It could be an individual who has authority over you in some way. So for some folks, that could be the boss at the job. It could be the CEO. It could be the manager. It just depends on where you are and what kind of a setup you're in. Authoritative figures can be our parents, right? Somebody who feels like a parent. So whoever has authority over you in some way, shape, or form would be that. So it could be like our renter, that could be like a landlord, right? They kind of are the boss of the place. If you are on the job and you've got like a supervisor that's over you, that would be this. So you have to kind of look in your chart and figure that out for who is the authority figure in your life. Now, this isn't going to last long. Mars moves fast. So when we get to the beginning of April, around April 3rd, you're going to feel an ease because Mars starts to pull away from Saturn. All right? This conjunction happens at 0 degrees Aquarian energy. Now, Aquarian energy is important because it's air. All right, and Venus is going to be moving, right? We talked about the trine that she's in the midst of right now, the butt end of March, but Venus is going to be moving out of Capricorn energy, which is Earth, and going into the the air sign of Gemini. Gemini, air. Gemini is talking. Gemini is very creative, likes to do things with the hands. Gemini thinks about things, communicates things, but then also is very creative and starts to take things that it was thinking and doing things. Now it's going to be sending supportive, sweet energy to Aquarius, your Saturn in Aquarius at 0 degrees. So you feel this by the 3rd of April, by the 4th of April, it becomes stronger because 4th, 5th, 6th, Venus starts trining Mars in Aquarius, and they become very compatible. Now recognize Venus energy is the feminine energy, Mars is the masculine energy. So this is that male-female, right? It doesn't have to be male-female per se, but it could be just this masculine, feminine essence, right? Mars is the warrior, the fighter, the doer. Venus is more about how I receive. Okay, Venus is more about things being beautiful and peaceful, but they're trining each other at this time. It's a beautiful trine, not a grand one, but it's a trine. You could have a grand Earth trine if you have other planets in lower degrees, like 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees of Libra, because Libra is the other air sign. Now that brings us into the full moon that's going to be occurring. The full moon happens on April 7th/8th, depending upon where you're at in the world. And it happens at 18 degrees and 44 minutes in your Libran energy. Now, where's Libra in your chart? Libra energy is typically going to be in your 6th house, okay? Now, Libra is about relationships, okay? The ruler is Venus, so again, this is another Venus thing happening, okay? And so Venus will be sending some beneficial stuff because Venus is in air during this full moon. She's in the sign of Gemini. Gemini's air. And this is going to be beautiful because you want all the support you can have when we're dealing with pandemic and people being in a deep state of fear, which is Pluto energy. And you want to try and pull yourself out of that. Venus is all about being very creative. And so when we dip into the creative energy, we're getting outside of that one side of the brain where it's all this thinking going on. We go to the other side and we tap into source. We tap into the cosmos. We bring that energy in and we elevate ourselves, which on the large scale, that's what this whole experience is about. We are globally experiencing a deep, sweeping change. And that's Jupiter conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. The structures of our world, of our tangible 3D world, have been upheavaled, have been turned upside down. And we're realizing they're not as stable as they once were. And we're realizing there may be some outdated stuff that we had, like old programming. Because here we are, we have this crisis going on, and we're recognizing, oh my gosh, we don't have enough of this, we don't have enough of that. Holy crap, why is that? How did that happen? So we're going to have a lot of discussions that are going to come out of this. We're going to have a lot of inventions that are going to come out of this. A lot of major advancements for humanity. That would be Saturn in Aquarian energy. And now that Saturn's in Aquarius, it does retrograde, but follow the Saturn cycle gives you a better idea of when we have these restrictions imposed upon us. And Saturn is going to be in Aquarius all the way until June. And not until the end of June does Saturn start retrograding and get back into Capricorn energy. And at that time, we might feel a little bit of ease. It really likely, I'm saying not until mid-July, actually, where we feel, second week of July, where we feel like we're, okay, have we already hit our peak in that curve thing? And are we able to maybe start operating globally on a more normal scale, but recognizing that what was normal, we're never going back to that. Okay, this is the whole point of Pluto. Now, Pluto and Jupiter, 24, 25 degrees. They visit this spot 3 times in 2020, which means this is, for all of 2020, we're going to constantly be going through times where it's like, oh crap, that again, I thought we were done with it. No, that's not going to happen because Pluto goes direct, then it goes backwards, right? And then it goes forward again. And every time Pluto hits that 24, 25 degree mark, it reactivates that energy. And this is all about changing our structures in our world, our concrete structures, our structures that have been around for a very long time. Now, for you, this is all about your beliefs. So your beliefs are very much changing. They've been under renovation and they're going through a reconstruction phase. Now, your full moon energy in your 6th house is your health, okay? This is at 1844. The 6th house is your work, your tangible work, your day-to-day work projects. It's also hygiene. Don't forget that. But it's your relationship with work. It's your relationship with your health. It's your relationship, people who mean a whole bunch to you because it's Libra. And you want things to be beautiful and to be peaceful and you want everyone to be in good health. But at this time of the full moon, see if you have something squaring 1844. So you're going to look in your Cancer and your Capricorn part of your chart and see what you have there. If you have anything at 1844 in either one of the signs, that creates a square. So a square means tension. It means stress. It means additional testing. All right, in which when we talk about a full moon, it's our emotions. All right, it's an elevation in our emotions, whether you have a testing or not. But if there's planets that square, it's additional stress, additional testing, okay? Now, there's nothing there by transit, but I would need to look at your chart specifically to tell you if you have anything there, okay? Now, again, that full moon is like the 7th/8th of April. So hopefully this video gets out to you in time where you have enough time in advance to get back and say, hey, I have a question. Do I have this? Do I have that or not? And what's going on? And then hopefully there's enough leeway time where you're prepared. You could have, some really sweet trines and benefits, and that would be lovely. But at the same time, because of what's going on, what we're all experiencing, this is an interesting time. Venus is Libran energy, and Libran energy is our significant one-on-one relationship. So that could be a business partnership, that could be, a personal, private relationship. But because it's in your 6th house, it takes on the aspect of work and your health. It takes all that on. It could also be pets too. That's the sixth house energy, is our domestic pets. Now, I want you to understand that the Mars squaring Saturn, it dissipates around the third and the fourth, and it gets that beam of support from Venus. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Venus, and I'll do further videos talking more deeper about this. Venus does do a retrograde, and she also goes out of bounds. Now, when Venus goes out of bounds, Venus goes extreme. So all you have to do is take the meanings of the sign of Venus, right? Which is love, which is relationships, which is beauty, which is peace, which is things being fair and equal. And Venus going out of bounds means those things become extreme. Okay, so this could be beneficial, or will be beneficial, in any of the air locations of your chart. So for Taurus ascendant, Taurus rising, the air locations of your chart is house number 6, is house number 2 of your finances, which is sweet. So Venus coming through that second house for you can definitely mean financial support coming through. And I would love to hear back from you, by the way, if you get that. I know all of us basically are going to be receiving some financial support, and we know because Venus will be sending a sweet trine to Jupiter and Capricorn, which represents government. Okay, Capricorn is big business and government. It's big structures of the world, things that have been established over a long period of time. But then when she moves into that Gemini energy, she is going to be sending trines to your 6th house and your 10th house. So this can be really sweet. I would see if I had something there in my own natal chart, because if you have a compound of other planets there and energies, you can expect something without a doubt, something beneficial from Venus and likely tangible. Okay, Taurus ascendant, Taurus rising, I hope this has put some light upon your path. Thank you.